Hello, everybody. It's Kristina Dennis, the Transformational Self-Empowerment Master. I'm going to come in and do a quick little video because I got to head out of here. I go so fast, I just plastered my hair down with some good old-fashioned sweat. Lovely. Wanted to talk a little bit about courage and one of the requirements that's absolutely a necessity if you want to transform your life. And one of the requirements is courage, and vulnerability equals courage. Not one of us can think of a time in our life that required courage that we weren't vulnerable, because if we weren't vulnerable or taking a risk, we wouldn't be doing anything courageous. So I find that to be brave, to watch people face their own truth, their own sadness, their own grief, to feel feelings that 99% of the world wants to run away from, is the bravest thing in the world to do. And these are my heroes, not the people that necessarily reach accolades. It's the people that quietly tell their truth. And you can see the pain and you know that they're feeling it. And for me, nothing has been greater than exposing myself to the right people at the right time. It has allowed me to create an atmosphere, a knowing inside of me based on history, the new history, the last 25 years of how I could be transformed, and I could have self-empowerment to do these things on my own, but not by myself. And I love Brene Brown. I could listen to her all day long, every day, and she may not be your cup of tea, but there's a reason why people are seeking out her truths, and there's a reason why her TED Talk on vulnerability is, I think, the fifth most watched TED Talk, The Power of Vulnerability. If you haven't watched it, I hope you do, because it's amazing. And what that taught me is something that I think I always knew, that even though people year after year, moment after moment would tell me that what I was feeling wasn't true, you think you have it bad, you should see what I went through, well, they did the best they could, they took care of you, I still found places that was safe for me to express the distraught that I had over some of those incidents. I found people that were safe and allowed me to express my sadness and my grief, and how powerful that was. And through that weakness, I became strong. And actually, me being weak was an incredible sign of strength. And those are the people that are my heroes. So if you're thinking about, if you are of a school of thought, or somebody has shared with you a point of view that says to feel those feelings is being weak, to not feel sorry for yourself, all the shaming statements that get thrown our way, whether we're children, the one-upness that hurting people do with each other, or you think that's bad, listen to what happened to me, that isn't so bad, the judgments that we have when people share. Remember that you being truthful, one, is going to break you wide open and start the healing process, which will bring you to that place of strength that you always wanted to have. Pretending that you're strong or pretending that things don't hurt you is actually just a lie. And the only way to stop shame from continuing to permeate in your life, the only way I could stop shame from permeating in my life, was to speak my truth. And I didn't do it perfectly, obviously. I would pick people sometimes who betrayed me in the beginning because I didn't understand what a safe person looked like. But I kept going, and I keep going, and I keep being willing to say the hard stuff or how I feel about something, and I keep being willing to look silly or not polished. I keep being willing to share something that's hurting me. I laugh because I could come up and say something that was very polished. I know my talks are usually pretty serious, but I am actually a funny person, and I like to crack jokes, and I like to perform and make people happy. It was the way I survived. So I always find it really interesting that when I share something in a group And our sole purpose is to get healthy, to become more of ourselves, to be brave and vulnerable. That it's the shares that are messy, the shares that are convoluted, that I use wrong words sometimes. It's the tears that come. It's the confusion that people relate to. And that's when a sister will come up and say, thank you for being willing to share that. You made me feel less alone. Or I feel now that it's okay for me to share. And so I just wanted to leave this here. Like I said, it's going to be a short video today. I've got to head out. I decided to, snooze this morning for a couple of hours, and that was new, and it felt pretty good. And I'm accepting the fact that my hair is plastered to my face with sweat as I go out. That bravery equals risk. You have to have risk in order to show bravery. You have to be willing to lose something in order for courage to show up. And that means you have to get vulnerable and not to keep things a secret. Because the minute we shine a light on something, the darkness goes away. And do it with the right person. Pick somebody you trust. That's why when we're working through transformational self-empowerment exercises, I insist that you share it with somebody. It could be me. It could be anybody that you are locking arms with in order to become more of yourself. I don't want anybody to live somebody else's life, including myself. And that means I'm going to get in here and get vulnerable and let you know that I love you. And it starts with us. There's so much going on in the world right now that is uncertain and in our country that is painful to watch. But I don't have the expertise in that area per se, but I can do something in my own home and with the people that I come across. So God bless everybody, including me. And hi, Stacy. And I hope to hear more from you. And I'll come back in tomorrow and talk a little bit more. Happy Friday.